Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, Angel Gabrielle. The haters pay the most for front row seats. When you are an intuitive empath, you can read the room quite easily because we can read energy quite easily. If I hate someone or dislike someone, I wouldn't even be around in their presence, much less watch their shit or buy their shit. Intuitive empaths know the elephant in the room, and we know who the wolves in sheep's clothing are. My enemies, the haters, the naysayers, have given me the fortitude to keep going and going. I have learned to alchemize my pain, my setbacks, the delays, the hardships, the injustices, the opposition, the adversities, the challenges, being homeless, not having a permanent place to call home, and also the delays that have happened, the black magic spells, destiny swapping, you name it. And I surpassed all of that. And all that was meant to harm me and hurt me and destroy me only shaped me into becoming more resilient and unstoppable. I wasn't going to give up on myself, nor was I going to give up on God or my faith. And so my pain had a purpose. My purpose became my stepping stool to come out here and share my story with the collective and inspiring other people that are going through opposition, challenges, whatever it is that you're going through. But all of my pain had a purpose into making me more resilient. And because my enemies have actually been my stepping stone into me reaching my highest timeline and reaching the highest version of myself. So I have a lot of things to be grateful for and proud of. Also, you all are aware, and if you aren't, I have survived all of the black magic spells that could even be put on a human being. I have survived death magic spells and everything that was meant to kill me and to basically unalive me has made me unstoppable, really, because I'm a force to be reckoned with. Everybody underestimated how highly protected I am in the spiritual realm. And I wasn't joking when I said that. But apparently there are some people that think it's quite funny. They think that I was just a laughing stock, a joke, and this type of thing. But one thing I can say is everything that I've shared on my channel, I've always come forward with the truth. I've no reason to lie, hide, or be deceitful, or be secretive. I have nothing to conceal. And I am just so grateful for everything that I've lived through and survived. And the things that I've lived through and survived, I've surpassed everything that the enemy did to me. And the enemy did this deliberately, intentionally, and maliciously to get me out of the picture. All this happened to me because I walked away from a covert narcissist and a malignant narcissist 28 months ago. And I did it for my highest good and for my greater good. And I was able to see beyond the veil at that time. And so that's why I walked away, closed the chapter, began my healing journey, and never looked back. I blocked him out of my life permanently and completely. This is also the reason why the smear campaign was ran against me here on my channel. This is also the reason why I was covertly targeted here on my channel, and why my divine connection between my divine masculine and I was covertly targeted. Because of jealousy, envy, animosity, etc. And this is also the reason why the sex magic spells were performed and the love spells were performed, not to mention countless other spells, binding spells, energy work, candle work, you name it. Destiny swapping was attempted, you name it. And this all derived from the fact that my divine masculine and I fell in love with one another. And it's not a crime to fall in love with someone, okay? And not just that, but, people had a lot of things to say about Rodrigo and I coming together in divine union, etc. But what people fail to realize is that Rodrigo and I are in our early 50s, and we have a say-so over our lives. It is our divine birthright to do as we please, be with who we please, and to walk away from the people, places, and things in our life that do not serve our highest good. That's all a part of our divine birthright. It's also a part of our divine birthright to set healthy boundaries with people and to walk away from people that don't have our best interest at heart. And not just my ex so-called male friend, but my divine masculine's ex. Everybody got together and, collaborated in with this war, with this witch and warlock covenant, to perform countless magic spells on Rodrigo and I, to further isolate us and to use us and to cause us to act like a puppet. So in other words, we did a lot of things that we wouldn't normally do, right? Because when you're under a spell, you do things you normally don't do. Just like when you're drunk off your ass, you don't remember the next day what you did, so you don't do things you normally do. But anyway, the reason why all this happened was to further isolate Rodrigo and I from each other, to damage our connection, and, to continue to use us. Because the only reason why our exes think they have a say-so in our coming together in divine union is because they don't want to let go of us. They don't want to let go of us because they're energy vampires. And they want to take our kindness for weakness. Rodrigo and I have a heart of gold. And we have given so much to a lot of people from a financial perspective, where we've gotten literally financially depleted. And so our exes are only hanging on to us and not wanting to let go of us for the mere purposes of financial reasons. And the smear campaign even went as far as people telling Rodrigo, I want to be with him only for his money and this type of thing. I didn't fall in love with Rodrigo for his money. I fell in love with his soul, just like he fell in love with my soul. When we look into each other's eyes, we see through each other's souls. And that is a divine love, a beautiful love. And yes, I want to spend the rest of my life with Rodrigo. And actually, I would be quite honored to sign a prenup agreement, because I don't want to marry Rodrigo for money. I want to marry him because I fell in love with who he is. Rodrigo showed me his true colors, and he hasn't shown a lot of you his true colors. But anyway, I just wanted to come forward and just say my piece, as I always do, and just to set the record straight that everything that Rodrigo and I have been through was meant to break us, to destroy our connection and the love that we have and share for one another. And regardless of the distance and the space and the time that we've been apart, our love has continued to grow more and more. And our love continues to remain resilient, and it gives us the fortitude to keep going and going, because our love is a love that's built to last, and it has stood the test of time. And that's why a lot of people aren't happy about it, because they were hoping that they could destroy us. And what I wanted to touch on lastly was haters pay the most for front row seats in respect to my situation in particularly, because my haters are obsessed with me. My haters want to be me. They want to mimic me. They want to copy me. But they can't compete where they don't compare. They never will. And they continue to try to do their magic spells and continue to pay these practitioners to do these magic spells and this type of thing. But it's not working, because I did have a protection ritual, a black magic removal, and a cord cutting ritual done for Rodrigo and I back in the middle of March. So we are protected from future spells. But anything that they are trying to do, it's all being ricocheted back to them. And so all I could say is God is so good. God is so good, because he knows what's happened. He knows all the injustice has happened. And he will make things right. And I want to encourage all of you, regardless of what you're going through, God will make things right. God will set the record straight. He will make your crooked places straight again. And, you know, he has the final say over everything. And I'm just so grateful in my relationship with the divine, with, you know, with God. And I'm just so grateful for everything I've lived through and survived and been through. Because, literally speaking, I shouldn't be alive. I should be dead. And everything that my unfriendly adversaries did to me, they would be physically dead. They would be dead right now for everything they've done to me. A lot of people don't believe in witchcraft and this type of thing, and I don't either. But I'll tell you what, folks, black magic spells are very real. And until you experience it, then you can, at that point, understand where I'm coming from. I don't expect you all to understand where I'm coming from, but I'm asking you to be unbiased and non-judgmental. But I am coming forward and just saying what needs to be said. You know, black magic spells are real, and they have a way of adversely affecting people's lives. And I know that the divine favor of God is over my life and over Rodrigo's life, and is over my divine connection between Rodrigo and I. And it makes absolutely no difference who's not in support of our divine union, because there's a lot of people that do care about me and about Rodrigo. And I've just had nothing but good things to say about him. And though we are in separation, I know that our time is coming, and we are coming into divine alignment. And I am just, really excited about what's to come. And I do also want to say that I don't blame you, Rodrigo, for everything that's happened between us, because I do also take into account the fact that you had magic spells placed on you. So even though you had a right to your own free will, right? and you could make your own choices, some of that was like beyond your control. Because when you have sex magic spells put on you, love spells put on you, which is what happened to you, which is what your karmic ex has done to you. She's the one that put the spells on you, not me. But when that happened to you, it caused you to act like a puppet and conform to her, give in to her, and just, and all of that, and it doesn't make you, you know, if you were sober, you'd be making more sound, good choices, decisions and stuff. And the same thing happened to me too. But um, the black magic, um, sex magic spells, and the love spells do violate our free will. And that's what's happened to Rodrigo and I. Because of the magic spells that were done to us, it violated our free will in the utmost. What's happened to Rodrigo and I, and what was done to us by our karmic exes, was absolutely inhumane. Inhumane. And I didn't deserve it, and neither did he. And I just want to tell you, Rodrigo, that